5 operations we'll do on functions: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And composition, know the restrictions of the domain you need to find. Yeah, when we're doing adding of functions, given f and g of x, f plus g of x, let's find it. Simply add both expressions. The result is now the sum, and it's quite easy. Let's move on to the second operation. We will perform subtraction of functions. So f minus g of x, subtract expressions, and just be careful when removing all of the grouping symbols there. That's the result. 5 operations we'll do on functions: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And composition, know the restrictions of the domain you need to find. If variables and radicals exist, radicand should not be negative. Variables and denominators should never make those equal to 0. Finding f times g of x now. Multiplying's where we're at. We'll simply use the FOIL method. First outer, inner, then last. Now these functions, so far they do have a domain wherein x is just any real number. And let's go see what is next when we're dividing functions. F over g of x, divide expressions, obtain the quotient. The domain excludes any x values that make them 0. 5 operations we'll do on functions: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And composition, know the restrictions of the domain you need to find. If variables and radicals exist, radicand should not be negative. Variables and denominators should never make those equal to 0. We're dealing with functions. Composition, combining two or more functions, and we're learning how getting the output is f of g of x. Then starting from the given is just simple substitution. Substitute g of x right there into first function, plug it in the main function or whatever you call it into all variables x, and then we're simplifying and we have it now. So what the heck is the domain? It's intersection. We establish real numbers in this one. It's a linear function. So now we talk about all of the restrictions for x in the domain. So all you need is to look for if x exists in denominator, find restrictions that make it 0. Remember, radicands can't be negative. That's all I got for you. 5 operations we'll do on functions: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And composition, know the restrictions of the domain you need to find. If variables and radicals exist, radicand should not be negative. Variables and denominators should never make those equal to 0. We're dealing with functions.